Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Farhan, also known as Gunner since 96, and you are watching my match day build-up video where we are looking forward, we are looking ahead to this evening's fixture. I'm talking about Wolves versus Arsenal at the Molineux. It's going to be another big game, another tough game that's coming up for Arsenal, and hopefully a game that sees us get the 3 points in the end. That is the most important thing for us, especially when teams around us are dropping points, constantly dropping points. Tottenham lost to Brighton the other day. Who else? Aston Villa have been dropping points lately. Southampton have been dropping points. I don't think Southampton are anywhere near us. Chelsea have been dropping points. Listen, teams have been dropping points, all right? And it's time that Arsenal take advantage of this. But more importantly, it's time that Arsenal continue on this upward trajectory and continue proving that, look, we have turned a corner. Our performances are better. We are more stable as a team and we are more drilled as a team. And we're ready. We're ready to proceed with the next steps of our development. So in this video, we're going to talk about the forms of both teams going into this game, any injury news. I'm going to give my predicted starting lineup and perhaps how both teams are going to approach this game. So yeah, let's get started with the forms. As you know, Arsenal are having a really good run of games at the minute. They are undefeated in their last 6, I think. I think the last time they lost a game was against Everton. I haven't actually counted how many games we are undefeated in. So United was 1, Southampton was 2, Newcastle was 3, Crystal Palace was 4, Wolves 5, Brighton 6, Chelsea 7. Yeah, so 7 games. Wow, we are 7 games undefeated. We haven't lost in 2021. We have done incredibly well, only drawing 2 out of those 7. So how many points is that? 17 points? That's not bad. 17 points out of a possible 25. Have I got that right? Is it 25? 21. 17 out of 21. I don't know where I got 25 from. Wow, my maths is awful. 17 out of 21 points for me is pretty good. I'll take that all day long. I still believe that we should have beaten Crystal Palace, and I still believe that we had a good opportunity to beat United. So look, considering those 2 games where we could have won and totally dominating the games that we had won, other than maybe Brighton, it's been good. It's been happy days. So Arsenal go into this looking really comfortable, looking really confident. And they're obviously going to play their 4-2-3-1 formation. We will be without a few players. Maybe it's a good time to talk about those injuries. So we were told today that Tierney will miss this game after experiencing some discomfort on his right lower leg, otherwise known as a calf. I was really surprised when Arsenal put that on their website. Discomfort on his lower right leg. They could have just wrote calf, but no, they chose the long-winded way of saying it. So look, it's a massive miss for us because Tierney has been excellent. Tierney has shown up in every game that he has performed in, and he has looked like our biggest source of assist or player who's more likely to, put balls into the dangerous areas. He has been the best player to feed balls into attacking spaces, and without him, we look a little bit flat. But having said that, there are other players in and around the pitch that can create that sort of quality as well. But look, Cedric has been really good in his absence, and he's done a good job on that left-hand side. Let's hope that continues, and let's hope that the performance increases and gets better, especially from him. He's been, like I said, impressive on that left-hand side. His relationship and the way that he plays with the players in and around that part has been really good as well. Pinging balls in from ridiculous spaces into ridiculous spaces as well. And defensively doing a pretty good job. So I think for now, I would rather have Saka back into the team than Tierney, because we've got someone who can do half a decent job as Tierney does. But in midfield, without Saka, it's a little bit flat. And that last bit of killer instinct is missing. And that moves me on, to the other players that are injured. Saka is injured, but he's back in full training, so he'll probably go for a late fitness test to see whether he's able to make the game tomorrow or not. I really hope he does, because this will be an important game for us to get 3 points. We need to take advantage of the fact that Wolves are going through a really rough patch. So hopefully he makes it. Aubameyang is back in full training as well today after the family problems. Once again, it's unclear whether the rules regarding his what do you call it? I completely forgot the word. Wow, I've actually forgotten the word, where you have to isolate. We don't know what's going on in regards to the isolation of Aubameyang. He was in training today, so you'd imagine that, that period of isolation is over. But then again, I'm sure he's going to need a little bit more than just one training session to be back in full fitness. So Bios is back in full fitness, in full training, I should say. So is Pablo Mari. So it's good news. We're only missing one player who's yet to come back in full training, and that's Tierney. Everyone else is coming back slowly and surely and should be fully back for the Villa game, which I think is a much bigger game than the one that we'll play tomorrow. But look, every game is a big game. You can't write off any team at any time. In terms of Wolves, they have a long list of injuries as well. They have a list of injuries from the same position that they desperately need. Nuri, the 19-year-old left back, has recently been ruled out of a groin injury. Johnny has obviously missed the whole season. Another fullback out with a knee injury. Marcel is also out, a left back. Jimenez as well has obviously after that game at the Emirates has been ruled out. And actually ever since that game, they have suffered a lot up front. This is probably a good time to talk about the Wolves' form and the type of formation they're likely to play. They're coming into this game off of a really, really bad run of games, not looking confident at all. And that's because they haven't won in their last 8 games. The last game that they won was against Chelsea, and before that it was us. So 2 in the last, I think, 10 isn't a really good record, and that's why they sit 14th in the table at the minute. They're obviously suffering with a number of injuries, Jimenez being the most important one because they're not finding the goals up front. Fabio Silva, the 19-year-old or 18-year-old, he came in on a very big transfer fee, dubbed as a wonder kid, and he hasn't delivered, and you have to feel sorry for him because he's sort of been forced into this position, unable to really develop himself properly and ease himself into it. Relying on this kid to get all these goals is obviously a massive bit of pressure on his shoulders, and it hasn't paid off. They are really struggling to get these performances in, losing to teams like West Brom. I think they drew against West Brom. Actually, no, they lost 3-2 against West Brom, losing to Palace last game 1-0. They come into this game with as low confidence as basically we were. They're basically where we were at the time when they came to the Emirates and beat us 2-1. So I feel sorry for them, but I understand that this is an excellent time to play them. It will be their first game playing in the Molineux for a while. They've played their last 3 away. The next 3 games will be at home. So home advantage, I don't think it counts anymore because of COVID, but who knows, playing at home, maybe the motivation will be different. Their formation is, again, all over the place. They've often in the last few weeks have played 5 at the back, and they've reverted from a 4-3-3 to an almost 5-1-2-1 or a 5-3-2. Yeah, that's about right. So, I don't think it's difficult for Nuno to get his best system when he has so many players out and he has to try and shuffle the team around. I expect them to play in a very conservative way. I expect them to sit back and try and hit us on a counter-attack. And they have all the pace in the world to hit us on a counter-attack. They've obviously got Traore, they got Neto, they got Podence. Podence is back. They got, like I said, Moutinho, who's a great player in midfield to, provide the crosses and the balls to the players up front. It's going to be interesting to see how Arsenal set up, because if I was Arteta, I would really go into this game with the idea to just attack, go all out, full blast. That makes no sense. Go out all in attack and cause them trouble, because they're under pressure right now. They're on low confidence, and the last thing that they're going to want to do is come at an Arsenal team who are, you know, on top of the world right now with so much confidence. But that all obviously depends on the team lineup. So let me give my predicted team lineup. Have I covered everything in terms of how I think? Well, I think it would probably be better to talk about team lineup before I talk about how I expect us to play. But let me just summarize. In terms of Wolves, I expect them to play all men behind the ball. I expect them to maybe revert back to a 4 at the back, because when you're playing 5 at the back, ideally, theoretically, your 2 wingers, your wing backs, will bomb forward and try and support the attacking players, and then you've got 3 at the back, with the midfielders sort of sitting in a little bit deeper, trying to fill in those gaps. But those gaps inevitably they remain, and so they won't want to play that style of football against Arsenal, because when you've got a team that loves playing down the wings against a team that play 5 at the back with their wing backs going down the wings, you're leaving those gaps there to be exploited. So I expect Nuno to play 4 at the back, a little bit more reserved, a little bit more tightly knitted back 4, to be sitting there compressed, ready to soak up the pressure and clear balls out. It's very unlike Wolves to play in that style of manner, though. The Wolves that I'm used to seeing is free-flowing football, attractive, really up front, attacking, like they like to get in behind of the opposition, free-flowing, quick football as well. And a lot of that has been implemented from obviously the Portuguese influence that they have in that team, but with the nature of which the injuries have been going for them and the performances of late, I don't think they're going to have much choice but to soak up the pressure and then hit us on a counter-attack. And if Arsenal aren't effective in trying to take advantage of their form, then we might see a repeat of what happened at the Emirates, where, you know, we get caught out. I saw it against Crystal Palace, where Palace were attacking them and they were sort of sitting off a little bit, sitting deep in numbers. But a little bit of quality from Eze got them the goal, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. So let me give my predicted team lineup. Obviously feel like Leno will start in goal, followed by Cedric on the left. We know that Tierney's out, so inevitably it will either be Saka or Cedric, but if Saka's coming back, he will be played in his preferred position, which is on the left, hopefully. Or on the right. Actually, no, he's preferred on the right, isn't he? Well, he can play either, but I like seeing him on the right and Pepe on the left. So look, Cedric on the left, central defenders. I don't know whether Arteta's going to switch things around a little bit, because we haven't had much time to rest players. I don't know whether, Gabriel's back, full fitness. I think this might be a good opportunity for Gabriel to play instead of Luis, because Luis played 90 minutes last game, put in a hell of a shift. So obviously going to be tired. He's getting to that age now where his legs seem to go quicker than most players. So maybe Gabriel fills in that position, plays alongside Holding. And then Bellerin obviously plays on the right-hand side. And again, but you think, does Bellerin play? You haven't got much choice but to play him, because Maitland-Niles is most likely going out on loan. Central midfielders. This is a big one for me. Does Partey play with Xhaka? Or does Partey play with El Neni? Or does El Neni play with Xhaka? Again, this question of rotation is something in the back of my mind, because it's only been 3 days and we're back at it again. And the one thing that you don't want is to burn players out, is to risk running them into injury. I don't know. Ideally, I think the best system would be to potentially play Partey and El Neni together. If you're playing against a side like Wolves who are going to sit back, who aren't really going to pose much of a threat. Having said that, they got Willian Jose, I should say, a new striker. And someone who looks pretty good. I mean, he is a decent striker. But Elneny does a good job at the back, and he has sloppiness in him, but he's someone like Xhaka, where if you play the right person with him, he looks pretty good. So I think I would like to see Partey and Elneny play in the middle there. The three behind the striker on the left, if Saka is available and ready, ideally I would like Saka to play. Sorry, no, not Saka, Pepe. I would like Pepe to play on that left-hand side. Having said that, Pepe had a lot of minutes under his belt as well. So is Arteta going to do the unthinkable and play Willian on the left-hand side? Because he came in and did a job, albeit a shoddy one, but he looked better than he did in most games. He still looked really poor, to be honest. But is Arteta going to go for Willian on the left, play Odegaard through the middle in a number 10 role, and then Saka on the right with Lacazette up front? That would be a really interesting starting 11. I'm going to put it out there and say that I think Willian will start. I think Willian will start on the left. I think Odegaard will get his first start. And I think Pepe will play on the right. Sorry, not Pepe, Saka on the right. And Lacazette will play up front. I think the majority of the players that Arteta wants fit will start. He'll want to put them on the bench because he'll want to play them against Villa, which is again in another 3-4 days. And Villa will be the ultimate test. They are in and around the sort of mid-table area where we are, and we need to really go there. I think it's an away game, is it? Let me just double check. Like I said, home advantages don't really count for anything anymore. But yeah, we played them at Villa Park on the 6th, which is literally 4 days away. I think he'd want the majority of the players fit for that game. That will be the game where you want to play your strongest team. And how do I expect Arsenal to play? Well, I expect Arsenal to play in an attacking style of football. I expect them to play high pressing. I expect them not necessarily high pressing, but maybe in an high intensity where if they lose the ball, I'd expect Arsenal to go and get the ball back as soon as possible. Play in a similar style that they did against Southampton and West Bromwich Albion. Relentless, non-stop. Going down the flanks will be important, but I would be interested to see the combination with Partey and Odegaard, how they try and manipulate and maneuver things in the middle. The key will be to try and break down their formation, their tightly knit back 4 or back 6, or however they want to set up off the ball. We need to try and create gaps and spaces, and movement will be crucial. Movement will be very, very important. Arsenal need to be smart in this game. They need to be intelligent and they need to use the ball well. Despite Wolves playing this game with really bad form, we can't forget that they are a very bright, intelligent footballing team. They have the potential to break down sides. They have the potential to score goals. And with the likes of, like I said, Podence, Neto, Willian Jose, Raul Moutinho, Traore, there are a number of players in there that can punish you. So we need to use the ball well. We need to be smart and intelligent. We need to keep it tight at the back as well, not to commit all the way to the halfway line. Build up the play with purpose, play with high intensity, build up play quick as well, and hopefully catch them off guard, force them to make some sort of mistakes to get a goal. Whether it be down the flanks or whether it be down the middle, whether it be Lacazette causing issues at the back by moving around and then getting Saka or Willian, I hope, Odegaard even, to get into those dangerous areas to create chances and maybe have a shot on goal. Who knows? We'll find out tomorrow. It's going to be another fascinating affair, especially with the games coming in thick and fast as well. It's really interesting to see how managers set their teams up and how and who they play as well, because every player has a different personality, different skills and abilities, and that does have a massive impact on the overall formation and the style of which the team plays. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit that bell notification to be notified every time I release a video. Let me know if you agree with my team lineup or not. Who do you think is expected to start, and how do you think Arsenal will approach this game? It's going to be an interesting one, but 3 points ultimately is a must. If we don't get 3 points, I'll be really, really disappointed. For all the obvious reasons, of course. But yeah, enjoy the game. Stay safe, stay home. And I'll be back tomorrow with a post-match reaction. But yeah, until then, enjoy the game. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.